Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back today with another 5 trades. Today's date is July the 2nd and today is a Friday, first Friday of the month. So that means it's non-farm payroll, high impact news trading, and we can take a look at the high impact news. So at Forex Factory, the news calendar on Friday, July the 2nd, 8:30 a.m. Right here, non-farm payroll. Now, it was green on this employment change, and that would normally mean we're buying. But this one, unemployment rate, is negative. That means we're selling, so we have mixed signals here, which means it can easily go up and then down, or vice versa. Now, just in case you didn't know, non-farm payroll will affect many pairs, like the pound and the euro pairs, as it is very strong news that is affected by many different currencies. You don't have to stick specifically with the USD. I've noticed that happening hundreds and hundreds of times. So if my charts are lining up for buying or selling, my trigger systems usually say in advance whether I should be buying and or selling. In other words, prior to the news, I can take the trade. Most of these trades did qualify for a great way to trade. Plus, the FX trigger system was saying to sell by the arrow and the 3 boxes from the higher time frames. So definitely we'll get into these trades, but first I would like to inform you that all trading systems will work less than 50% of the time, and that includes all my trigger systems. It took me 8 years and over 700 systems to learn that. Now, if you want to get that up to 80 or 90% success rate, you will have to learn how to trade the flow of the market, which is what I teach. You will also have to learn trade management and money management. To be successful in trading, all you need is a lot of chart time, a lot of demo trading, and a lot of education. I provide the education. Now, you must buy this education. In other words, the free stuff on the internet is not good enough. And then after you buy the education, then you must do the homework, or you will fail at trading. I highly suggest putting in more than one trade at a time, as no one knows which pair will move the greatest number of pips. That is why I place 3 or more trades at a time. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. This will encourage me to do more of these videos. If you leave your name and email address, I will put you on my email list for free weekly trading tips. So as I mentioned earlier, in advance, my FX trigger, as a matter of fact, any of my trigger systems, will point you the direction that the markets most likely, it's not 100% guaranteed, but a very high percentage of the time they will go in that direction. So as you can see, I have the arrow, the 3 boxes, suggesting to sell from way back here, which was 6:30. In other words, 2 hours before. And once news comes out, you got to be prepared that it'll spike up and down. That's just the way high impact news, especially non-farm payroll, does it. But then once it stabilizes, then it just carries on in a direction that my trigger system is saying to go, or suggesting it should go. So on this pound Aussie, drag and drop this up. Let's see where I got in at. Now I took the trade when I got this signal. Now it did do this pullback. Remember I told you it could easily spike up before it goes. But anyhow, not a big deal. Took the trade at this cursor. Did that spike I was telling you about. Went about 26 pips against me, but not a big deal. Didn't bother me. And I closed it out here when I saw the grand total was looking very good. I locked in 17 pips, and 17 pips on the pound Aussie paid $1,273. Now remember, the two main indicators are the two lines, blue or red, and of course you get the arrow here suggesting either buy and or sell, plus the three boxes that shows the higher time frames indicating to you whether you should be buying or selling. So let's move on to the Euro Aussie. Let's run a check on that, see where I got in at. Got the sell signal, same area. Did qualify for a great way to trade. Everything was screaming to sell. Took the trade at this cursor here, and I just waited until the news came out. Did go against me, only 11 pips, not a big deal. And I closed out the trade, looks like with 24 pips. And 24 pips on the Euro Aussie trade paid $1,796. Now keep in mind, these trades were, and my FX trigger was telling me 1 to 2 hours prior to the news to sell. So moving on to the pound New Zealand trade, drag and drop this up. There's your sell signal. It dropped. Now it did go against me. Remember what I said. You cannot put in a 10 or 20 pip stop. Like, it just will not hold. That's the biggest mistake of new traders making. They stop is too tight and they freak out. But as long as you follow the rules within the training videos, I also show how you can trade the higher time frames. In other words, I call it drilling down the lights from the daily 4 hours, 1 hour. And as long as those time frames are also in your favor, that means you're going in the direction of the trend. And so this is just a pullback and then continue with the trend. And as you can clearly see, if I stayed in the trade, I would have received more pips. Took the trade at this cursor. As I said, it does go, it will jump around at the news time. That's 26 pips against me. Not a big deal for a pound pair, especially the pound New Zealand. And it looks like I ended up closing the trade with 31 pips. And 31 pips on the pound New Zealand paid $2,167. Moving right along, I threw in the dollar CAD. And as you can clearly see, it was very good chart setup, looking for like a sell. As you got the lines, you got the arrow, you got the 3 red boxes, everything is looking great. That's why I did it. And here we go. Took the trade at this cursor. That was around 6:30, and it did go about 9 pips against me, and I ended up closing out the trade, looks like with 27 pips. And 27 pips on the dollar CAD paid $2,179. As long as you're looking for trades that look exactly like this, especially prior, because if you wait until after, there's not as much movement as you can see. After the candle close, went up 19 pips, went down 13 pips. That's why you got to get in the trade in the direction, as long as the charts don't look messy, nice and clean like this. And I show dozens and dozens of trade examples within the training videos, exactly what the chart should look like. Moving on to the last trade, Euro New Zealand. Drag and drop this up. See how nice and clean this looks? Sell from 4:30 in the morning. Could have taken the trade anytime. And then bang, it dropped. Telling me well in advance. Everything saying to sell. 3 red boxes. Took the trade at this cursor. Did go against me 7 pips. Not too much. And I ended up getting, looks like 37 pips. And 37 pips on the Euro New Zealand trade paid $2,655. So this was another great day of trading, a great way to end the week, and a great way to trade high impact news. Love my FX trigger system. And remember, whoever buys the FX trigger system, you're going to end up getting your hands on the trade simulator. Just watch the videos, a few videos back on the trade simulator. Today's pip total happens to be 136 pips, and 136 pips pay $10,072. Now, if your system is not producing on a daily basis like my FX trigger system, I suggest you get your hands on it. All you got to do is look right below this video. You'll see this write-up. My FX trigger system, I do charge $250 for it. I teach how to trade the flow of the market. If you don't learn this, you will never succeed. My FX trigger system has well over 4 gigabytes of training. I just did a quick check. It's almost 4.5 gigabytes, so that is a lot of training. You will get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Now it comes with 5 MT4 templates, 12 custom indicators, and my favorite meter. I threw in a lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents, and 9 bonus videos. This is what you're going to need, a lot of education to succeed. Now there's a lot of ways to trade, and I do teach a lot of ways to trade. That's why there's 43 training videos. It was 42, but then I decided to introduce to you this trading simulator, and there's a very long video showing you many examples on how to backtest using the trading simulator, where over the weekend you can put in 50 to 100 trades, the equivalent of maybe 6 months or a year, depending on how many hours. I do 8 hours every weekend. I can easily put in 100 trades, and then you can buy, you can sell, put in your stops wherever you want. It does many different things, and this is a bonus that you will receive. So you can read everything else in here, and put the video on pause, of course, and check out everything here. If you have any questions at all you got to do is pick up the phone and call me. Here's my number. If you live too far, just shoot me an email. Here's my email address. Remember, there's an underscore right here. Now I do prefer Skype, quite simple. All you got to do is click on this link, and you will have a Skype connection with me, and through Skype screen sharing, I'll give you a free session, give you some tips and tricks, and of course answer your questions. And remember, that is totally free, no obligation. Now if you click on this link right here, you'll see 32 screenshots of all the trigger systems I've been building over the years. So that just about wraps up this video, and I'll repeat it one more time. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until the next trade, good luck with your trading, and remember to keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.